Today, I'm exposing the 5 healthy morning routines that are actually adding inches to your waistline after 40, and giving you the simple swaps that can switch your body into fat-burning mode immediately. Most women who stop the number 3 see their midsection start to shrink within just 14 days. We are counting down from number 5 to the number 1 most powerful hormonal reset of all, starting with the one that ruins your metabolism before you even get out of bed. Before we begin, let us know in the comments below where you're watching from, your age, and what the biggest problem you're facing during this period. We're reading and replying to every single comment with personalized tips and advice. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. Number 5, the digital stress bomb. You open your eyes, turn off your alarm, and what is the very first thing you do? You check your phone. You look at your email, you scroll through social media, or you read the news headlines. You think you are just waking up and getting informed, but biologically, you are dropping a nuclear bomb on your nervous system. This is the digital stress bomb. Recent clinical data, including a 2023 study published by the Mayo Clinic involving a large cohort of women, indicates a strong correlation between immediate digital exposure upon waking and dysregulated cortisol patterns. Here is why this destroys your waistline. When you wake up, your cortisol levels are supposed to rise gradually. This is called the cortisol awakening response, or CAR. It is a gentle curve that gives you energy and alertness. But when you blast your brain with blue light and stressful information, work emails, bad news, other people's perfect lives, within seconds of waking, you force a vertical spike in cortisol. You're not easing into the day, you're shocking your body into a fight or flight state. If this mistake is spiking your cortisol, your body will prioritize storing belly fat every time. The fix is coming now. Do not look away. In your 20s, your estrogen levels could buffer this stress response. Estrogen is naturally anti-cortisol. But now that you are over 40 and your estrogen is declining, you've lost that protective shield. Your brain cannot distinguish between a stressful email and a tiger chasing you. It perceives a threat, so it commands your adrenal glands to pump out cortisol and adrenaline. This signals your liver to dump glucose into your blood for quick energy to fight the tiger. But there is no tiger. You are just lying in bed staring at a screen. You don't burn off that glucose, so your body releases insulin to store it. And because cortisol is high, that storage happens specifically as visceral fat, deep in your belly. This habit also sets a dopamine trap. You're training your brain to be reactive rather than proactive. You start your day in a deficit, chasing a dopamine hit, which leads to poorer impulse control later. Research shows that women who start their day with digital stress are significantly more likely to crave high-sugar, high-fat comfort foods by 3 p.m. You are setting yourself up for dietary failure 10 hours before it happens. Stick around, because coming up, I'm revealing 3 specific exercises. And the best part is, you only need to pick one to start seeing results. I remember when I was 45, I made this mistake every morning. I would check my work email from my pillow, see a problem, and my heart rate would spike before I even brushed my teeth. I carried that tension all day, and my midsection showed it. The swap here is simple, but requires discipline. You need a 5-minute silence ritual. Do not touch your phone for the first 5 minutes. Buy an old-fashioned alarm clock if you have to. Let your brain wake up naturally. Let your cortisol rise gently. This allows your metabolism to come online without the panic signal. It protects your progesterone levels, which are already low, from being further depleted by the demand for cortisol. That first step is crucial, but it will fail entirely if you don't master the second step, which involves the healthy beverage everyone drinks. It's the one thing you think wakes you up, but it is secretly driving blood sugar chaos. That is number 4. Number 4, the empty stomach caffeine trap. You walk into the kitchen, eyes half open, and the very first thing you reach for is the coffee pot. It is the ritual that convinces you it is possible to start the day. You think you are jump-starting your metabolism, but if you are drinking that coffee on an empty stomach, you are actually throwing gasoline on a hormonal fire. This is the empty stomach caffeine trap, And it is one of the most common reasons women over 40 cannot lose visceral fat. Recent clinical data, including a 2020 study published in the British Journal of Nutrition, indicates a strong correlation between disrupted glucose metabolism and consuming black coffee immediately upon waking. Here's the mechanism you need to understand. When you wake up, your body is naturally dehydrated, and your cortisol is rising to help you get out of bed. This is normal. But when you pour caffeine into a fasted system, you amplify that cortisol spike to dangerous levels. Caffeine creates an artificial adrenaline surge. Your adrenal glands, which are already working overtime because your ovaries are producing less estrogen, get hammered. They pump out excessive cortisol, which signals your liver to dump stored glucose into your bloodstream. This one mistake is why your menopausal belly fat is hormonally stuck. The rest of this segment reveals the key to unlocking it. Keep watching. You haven't eaten anything, so your blood sugar rockets up purely from the stress hormones. This triggers a massive insulin response to bring that sugar down. You are creating insulin resistance and fat storage conditions before you have even put on your shoes. This is why you feel that sudden jittery energy followed by a crushing wall of fatigue at 10:30 a.m. That crash isn't a lack of caffeine. It is a hypoglycemic episode caused by the insulin spike you triggered 3 hours earlier. I used to make this mistake every single day. I practiced intermittent fasting and thought black coffee was my best friend. I would drink 2 cups before noon on an empty stomach, shaking with energy, and then wonder why I was starving and craving bagels by lunchtime. I was literally drinking stress. My body thought we were running from a predator, so it held onto every ounce of belly fat for survival. The fix is not to give up coffee. I would never ask you to do that. The fix is to change the order of operations. You must earn your coffee. First, you hydrate. Drink 16 ounces of water with a pinch of sea salt to replenish the electrolytes you lost during sleep. Dehydration raises cortisol, so water lowers it. Second, you wait. Ideally, you wait until you have eaten breakfast so there is food in your stomach to slow the absorption of caffeine. If you prefer to fast, you must wait at least 90 minutes after waking before that first cup. This allows your natural cortisol peak to happen and start falling on its own before you introduce caffeine. By delaying it, you turn coffee from a metabolic disruptor into a fat-burning tool. You have fixed your mind and your hydration, but that is only the foundation. The next mistake is the one that truly breaks my heart because it involves the effort you are putting in at the gym. You are sweating and working hard, but the specific type of exercise you are doing is stripping away your muscle and signaling your body to store more fat. That is point 3, and it is the lie that keeps you stuck. Before number 3, I just want to say, behind every video is a ton of effort, and the best reward is knowing you enjoyed it. By liking and commenting, you give me the motivation to keep creating more content. Thank you for being part of this journey. Number 3, the high-intensity cardio lie. You lace up your sneakers at 6 in the morning and go for a hard run. Or you jump into a high-intensity spin class. Or you force yourself through a boot camp that leaves you gasping for air. You have been told for decades that to lose weight, you must burn calories. And to burn calories, you must suffer and sweat. You believe that if you are not dying on the floor, you are not working hard enough. This is the high-intensity cardio lie, and it is destroying your metabolism. Research from the Menopause Society indicates a paradox where vigorous exercise in midlife women correlates with increased abdominal adiposity rather than weight loss. The price of skipping this is gaining another pound of belly fat this week. Keep watching now. Here is the biological reality you need to understand. High-intensity cardio is a physical stressor. It raises cortisol. In your 20s and 30s, you had enough estrogen to blunt this cortisol spike and repair the muscle tissue quickly. Estrogen is anabolic. It builds muscle and protects you from inflammation. But now that you are over 40, your estrogen is low. When you hammer your body with intense cardio first thing in the morning, when cortisol is already naturally high, you are pushing your stress hormones through the roof. You are not burning fat. You are surviving a crisis. The result is a cruel metabolic paradox. Because your body cannot recover efficiently without estrogen, it stays in a chronic state of inflammation. High cortisol is catabolic to muscle tissue. This means your morning run is literally eating your muscle mass for fuel to sustain the high-stress activity. This accelerates sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle. Since muscle is your metabolic engine, losing it slows your metabolism down permanently. Simultaneously, that high cortisol screams at your body to store energy for the perceived emergency. And where does the body prefer to store emergency energy? It stores it as visceral fat around your liver and intestines. You are running your way to a softer, rounder middle. We are moving to the next point, but make sure you watch until the very end. I'm going to hand you the exact roadmap that ties all these steps together and fixes everything. I remember looking in the mirror after training for a half marathon at age 46. I was running 30 miles a week, yet my waist was 2 inches larger than when I started. I felt puffy, inflamed, and exhausted. I was overtraining my under-recovered body. I was fighting my physiology with the old rules, and my physiology was winning. The swap is to stop punishing your body and start supporting it. In the morning, prioritize low-impact, joint-friendly movement. Go for a brisk walk outside. Do 30 minutes of yoga or Pilates. Lift heavy weights slowly with plenty of rest between sets. These activities stimulate your muscles without spiking cortisol. Walking specifically has been shown to lower circulating cortisol levels. You are telling your body that you are safe, which lowers the alarm bells and allows your body to release the fat stores it has been hoarding. You can still do high-intensity work if you love it, but keep it short, under 20 minutes, and do it later in the day when your cortisol levels have naturally dropped. You have stopped running yourself into the ground, which is a massive relief for your adrenals. But this next point is the one that tricks almost everyone. It is the healthy breakfast sitting in your pantry right now. It looks innocent, but it is the biggest metabolic liar of all. Number 2, the health halo breakfast. You sit down to a warm bowl of steel-cut oats topped with banana, honey, and oat milk, or perhaps a smoothie bowl loaded with mango and granola. You see fiber and vitamins. You feel virtuous. But your pancreas sees a massive glucose bomb that shuts down fat burning for 6 hours. This is the health halo breakfast. It is the reason your diet is failing. It is not the donut you avoided that is the problem. It is the healthy carbs you are eating that your changing body can no longer handle. Here's the science. Estrogen makes you insulin sensitive. As estrogen disappears, you naturally become insulin resistant. That oatmeal your body handled at 30 now causes a dramatic blood glucose spike. Your pancreas responds by pumping out massive amounts of insulin. Insulin is a storage hormone. When insulin is high, it is biologically impossible for your body to burn fat. You are locking the doors to your fat stores. But the damage continues. The massive sugar spike inevitably leads to a crash 2 hours later. That crash feels like brain fog and sudden hunger. Your brain perceives this rapid drop in fuel as an emergency. It releases cortisol to liberate stored sugar back into the blood. Now you have high insulin from the breakfast and high cortisol from the crash. This specific hormonal cocktail directs fat storage right to your belly. You are literally eating your way into a stress response. You think you are fueling your body, but you are actually trapping it in a cycle of spikes and crashes that leaves you exhausted and storing weight around your midsection. You must stop falling for the natural sugar lie. Your body does not care if the sugar came from a bee or a factory. It processes the glucose in honey, agave, and date exactly the same way it processes table sugar. That healthy granola is often held together with enough syrup to rival a candy bar. When you add these to a carbohydrate base like oats, You create a glycemic load your menopausal body simply cannot metabolize. You are feeding the very inflammation you are trying to fight. The swap is non-negotiable. You must adopt the protein-first rule. You need 30 grams of high-quality protein within an hour of waking. This could be 3 eggs, a chicken sausage scramble, or a smoothie made with protein powder and healthy fats like avocado, not fruit juice. Protein does not spike insulin. It stabilizes blood sugar and keeps you full. Most importantly, it provides the amino acids necessary to protect your muscle. When you start with protein, you keep insulin low and cortisol stable, keeping the fat-burning doors wide open. You have overhauled your nutrition, movement, and mindset. But everything we have discussed so far, the silence, the water, the walking, the protein, will struggle to work if you miss the final step.
Number 1 is Master Switch.
It is a 5-minute biological reset that anchors your entire hormonal system. Without it, your body never truly knows it is time to burn fat. We have arrived at the most powerful fix of all. This is the one you cannot skip. We're moving on, but don't click away. I have 3 surprisingly easy exercises coming up that directly target stubborn belly fat.
Number 1, the 5-minute hormone reset. You can eat the perfect protein breakfast, avoid the caffeine trap, and walk every morning. But if you do these things in a dark room or under artificial lighting, your hormonal system remains offline. You are trying to start a car without turning the key. The single most powerful biological reset available to you is not a pill, a powder, or workout. It is the immediate morning sunlight and hydration protocol. Here is the mechanism that controls your entire metabolism. Deep in your brain, there is a tiny region called the Suprachiasmatic Nucleus, or SCN. This is your body's master clock. It controls the timing of every hormone release in your body, including when you burn fat and when you store it. The SCN does not know what time it is by looking at a clock. It only knows what time it is by the amount of light hitting the specialized cells in your retina. When you step outside within an hour of waking and let natural light hit your eyes, you send a direct signal to the SCN that the day has begun. This triggers a healthy, sharp release of cortisol, the good kind that gives you energy and focus, which then naturally drops off later in the day. If you stay inside, your body never gets this clear signal. Your cortisol peak is blunted and delayed, dragging out into the evening when it should be low. This drift is a disaster for belly fat because it keeps your body in a low-grade stress state all day long. This is the cellular key to releasing years of stored dormant belly fat. The explanation is coming next. Keep watching. Most women fail here because they think sitting by a window is enough. It is not. Modern windows are designed to filter out UV light, which strips away the specific spectrum your brain needs to trigger this reset. You must physically step outside. You don't need to stare at the sun, please don't do that, but you need the photons to hit your eyes without sunglasses and without glass in the way. Even on a cloudy day, the light energy outside is 10 to 50 times stronger than the brightest bulbs in your kitchen. Your brain knows the difference, even if you don't. This protocol also sets a timer that protects your waistline while you sleep. The moment sunlight hits your eyes in the morning, a 16-hour timer starts ticking. When that timer goes off, your pineal gland releases melatonin to help you sleep. If you miss the morning light, you miss the evening melatonin. Poor sleep is the fastest way to gain visceral fat because it spikes cortisol the next day. By getting outside for just 5 to 10 minutes every morning, you are guaranteeing better sleep tonight, which means lower stress hormones tomorrow. There are no excuses for this one. If it is raining, you stand under an umbrella. If it is winter and dark when you wake up, you buy a 10,000 lux light therapy lamp and use it while you drink your water. This is the non-negotiable anchor of your health. It aligns your biology with the planet, optimizes your metabolism, and signals to your body that it is safe to burn fat. So I promised you 3 specific exercises that replace the high-intensity cardio trap. Remember, you do not need to do all 3. Just pick one that fits your lifestyle and commit to it. Option 1 is the metabolic anchor, the outdoor brisk walk. This is your entry point. I know it sounds too simple to work, but that is exactly why it works. When you walk outside at a conversational pace for 20 to 30 minutes, you are doing two things simultaneously. First, you are physically lowering circulating cortisol levels. Second, if you do this in the morning, you are stacking it with the sunlight protocol we talked about in point 1. You are literally telling your brain, we are safe, we are awake, burn the fat. No gasping for air, just movement. Option 2 is for the woman who wants to reshape her silhouette, slow, heavy strength. Notice I said slow. We are building muscle because muscle is the engine that keeps your metabolism running, but we are doing it without the adrenaline spike. You lift heavy weights, squats, deadlifts, presses. But here's the secret. You rest for 2 to 3 minutes between every single set. You want your heart rate to come down completely. This builds the muscle to fight aging, but keeps the nervous system calm so you don't store belly fat. Option 3 is the anti-inflammatory shield, restorative Pilates or yoga. This is for you if you feel wired but tired. This isn't just stretching, it is active nervous system regulation. By focusing on deep core stability and controlled breathing for 30 minutes, you are manually switching your body from fight or flight into rest and digest mode. You are tightening the waistline from the inside out while lowering the very hormones that made it expand in the first place. Pick one. Start tomorrow. Consistency beats intensity every single time. You've learned the great stuff, but if you want to make your results perfect, we have to talk about what happens the rest of the day. To fix that and lock in your results, you need to watch this video right here. Click it and let's finish what we started. Your feedback is what drives this channel. The easiest way to give it is with a simple like and a comment. It's my #1 source of motivation, so I appreciate every single one. Thanks for watching.